Hey guys, welcome to Waste Out Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time to take scraps, junk, things that we thrift, and we turn them into home decor that we sell at JamieRayVintage.com and at our resale store in Lehi, Utah. We are working on some projects. We have been working our way through our scrap wood pile, if you've been around here the last few weeks, or old craft kit leftovers. We had some blank 1x4s, right? 2x4s was?
Yeah,
1x4. And then these beadboard panels from a few old craft kits. Zeb will show you what we're doing with them.
So I just took the back panel and then I took one of those boards that we were using for hooks and I just took my router, went around the edge, cut them to size to fit on the back of these and glued them on. And I'll show you just gluing one on here. So when we got started, it's just basically a piece of like 3/8 plywood that's got this beadboard routed into it. And then I just took these. Now this one here, I messed up and went around the edge a little bit because I was just freehanding it. And so I routed down both sides. I actually kind of like that. But these ones here just have the routed edge on the top. And then I'm just gluing them up. Not even putting any screws or anything in there. This wood glue will hold plenty strong, and we're going to put knobs and stuff through ours, so they'll be they'll have fasteners, like a mechanical fastener through.
I painted mine with anvil before we got started as like a base layer, so I'm just getting that dry. Then I'm going to come in with vintage linen. The thing about anvil is it has a built-in sealer, so I'm hoping that I can paint these with vintage linen and then kind of wet distress back to this darker color on this piece and around the edge. And we're going to be doing some decoupage with our February subscription papers. If you guys have signed up, some of you guys have received your papers already. If you haven't, you can sign up until February 12th to get these papers that we're going to show you.
You got 7 days.
After the 12th, then you just get March's papers, and those are going to be equally awesome. But
Yep.
You can also sign up for one time only, or you can do the subscription. It's just a lot cheaper. You get a deal if you sign up for the recurring subscription.
Okay, so this one's drying up. This glue, this wood glue will, you know, by the time we're halfway through this live stream, I can take the clamps off. These little clamps, I use these as like a third, fourth, fifth hand all the time. They, the little ones like this are about $1, $1.50 down at your hardware store. If not, Amazon has them super cheap. You can get like a 10-pack for like $8. And I use a ton of them. As you saw, I had like 8 of them out here, but this one's already done. So we don't need to glue. I just wanted to show you guys gluing it up real quick, how easy it was.
So Dorothy says she got her papers yesterday and they're beautiful. And Kim said she got her watering can that you painted and she likes it.
Oh, I'm glad you like that, Kim. I was like on the fence on how I wanted to go. Because it had all that texture on it already. And then I'm like, you know what? Americana and a transfer and we're done. It was so easy. All right. So this is, I have to go get one more. I thought I had a set of these printed out. So the last February paper is printing. So this is one of the papers. You get 4 every month. And they're all this A4 size, which is basically 8.5 by 11. It's just a little narrower and a little taller than an 8.5 by 11. And they're rice papers. And we use the archival ink on these two. So you can just frame them up if you want, or they decoupage really easily. We're going to be decoupaging today.
I'm just painting with vintage linen on over the top of the black and over where I'm going to have the decoupage paper. So that's why there's no black in the middle, because I'm going to have paper there. And then we had a question about if we've ever used wood burning pens. Zeb, have you ever used wood burning pens?
Yep.
Zeb says yes. Have we ever used on camera? No, but I haven't had like a DIY that like I wanted to do with them, which is probably why we haven't. Typically what happens is Zeb and I are browsing the interweb and we see something we like and then we buy the tools. And I haven't seen anything like wood burning isn't really my style, I guess. So maybe if I found something that I liked, we would buy them and use them.
I have like 2 sets of them.
But we do wood burn our logo on things. Does that count?
Yeah, and I also use them. I have like a whole solder set, and I use them for like all kinds of stuff. I use them for plastic welding. Plastic welding. So this right here, this paper here is the star of February's paper. I've had several people email and comment in that they are buying the subscription just to get this paper because it's only available in the subscription currently. We may do something for retail similar down the road, but it won't be this exact one.
Well, no, we can do that. It's just they're never before released.
I got like 80 of these little old cards.
Oh, so we could do something like
Yeah.
that. But please let us know if you're getting the subscription papers, which ones are your favorite, because you guys are kind of like our test audience. The reason why they're less expensive than if you just buy papers individually is because you guys we're testing them out on you. Like, what do you guys like? What do you guys want to see in production for something you can buy multiples of, that we can release to our retailers, and then also to you guys in the retail world. So I'm almost done with my vintage linen. The thing about DIY paint is it covers so good. Doesn't have a built-in sealer, doesn't self-level, but as far as like blending and coverage, like one coat and for sure done. So I'm gonna let that dry. Then I'm going to get my decoupage paper on, and then I'm gonna probably like lightly distress this and get ready to put knobs, and then we'll be mostly done.
So I have an assortment of like knobs and hangers and hooks left over from craft kits. We sold most of those hooks we used last week because we were just selling them separately. I have some scrap wood left over. It might not be this week because we've got 6 videos we're doing this week for a couple of releases.
Yes. So tomorrow is going to be our JRV paper release video and fun thrifting. And then Friday, I won't tell you what it is, but if you want to know what's being released on Friday, the hint is in my Instagram and Facebook stories. I put a little hint for what Friday's video is going to be about. And we're actually already done with tomorrow's video. I'm looking at the projects that we completed with the new papers, and they are so cute. So make sure you guys are watching that. I think tomorrow's video normally goes up at 4, but I think because we're doing a paper release, we'll probably wind up launching that video earlier. If we can get it edited today, we'll put it up at like 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll probably see it around 10, get a notification, watch it whenever,
Watch it whenever
if you're working or, catch it at lunch. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun video.
We went thrifting twice.
Yes. So we couldn't find what we want. I think we're going to go thrifting again for Friday's video. Somebody saw us at the thrift store yesterday, and they're like, I thought you only thrifted on Mondays. I'm like, we thrift any day we need to. But typically, yes, Mondays. Let's see. Caitlin dropped the link, Blanca, for subscriptions. If you need it, she just dropped it again. Caitlin, would you also drop the link for our stencil subscription? We're not using those stencils today. Maybe... Well, next week will be right before the cutoff. If you watch the video,
I used them in Monday.
Monday.
No, was it Monday or was it Thursday? It was Thursday's video last week.
Thursday's video last week, we used the stencil subscription, and I actually feel like there's so many better ways to use it than we even have because they're Delft inspired stencils. They're so good. So make sure if you are a stencil lover that you sign up for that subscription because it's going to be fun. I already have next month's planned out, so we'll be ready to go for next month's subscription. I'm going to start creating some content next week that I can put out once that is released. So on the 13th of every month, that's when we switch over to the next month's subscription, and you get to see those. Oh yeah, Caitlin says next week is 12th. So next week I won't be using them because then everybody will be sad if they watch the replay and they can't get those papers or stencils anymore. I'll use new stuff.
But yeah, we used them in Thursday's video last week.
Oh, Zeb, you forgot to do the bottom of that.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think I did a short using them on some planters, which I actually forgot to list the planters, so I need to get those planters listed that I did. I've been trying to make short form content. If you don't know what that is, it's the vertical videos that are about a minute or 2 long. I just put up a new one this morning of the cute frames that were in Monday's video. But I've been trying to do multitask. So if I'm doing it in a video for long form, I'm trying to make short form versions of it too. Because it's so hard. I don't know if any of you guys are creators, it's so hard to find the time to make short form, which is like the reels and the TikToks and things like that. And then also long form content. So I try to like double duty. Sometimes that's why you'll see little videos where I just show all the finished projects because I'm like, well, we already made a video on this, but I'm gonna make a little one. Just works. Margaret says, just subscribed, and Journey of You says, I got the subscription. That's awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. We used to do the craft kit subscriptions, and that was really fun. But for a couple reasons, we stopped doing the craft kits. One, because it was really hard to come up with new, exciting things and stay within a certain dollar amount because like prices vary based off of the kit that we would do. And 2, I wanted to come up with subscriptions that were less expensive, but more frequent. So they were more consistently fun, but like not much more than like a value meal with a milkshake. Let's add the milkshake on there.
If you sub in the milkshake, it's about the same price.
Yeah, it's about the same price and then I like divided it. Instead of having a paper stencil together, I did it separate. So if you want just the paper subscription or just the stencil, you can do it because I want to make it worth your time.
If you're hitting Chick-fil-A up, we're actually saving you money.
Rustic Rehab says, I feel it's about videos in each form. They don't come easy. Glad it's not just me. Oh, it's not. I had the video I put up this morning of Jen that I did of the pink frames. It just went up, the little short form. I've had the content filmed since Monday. And this morning, Zeb's like, what are you doing? He was setting up for the live. I'm like, I am making this short. I have had it filmed since Monday and I have not put it up because I actually screwed up a few times when I edited that. And I had the footage was filmed vertically and horizontal. So I had to like pick out the correct footage and I'm lazy. And that like hurts my brain to have to do that. Normally, if I'm filming a short, it's just all vertical footage. I one take, wonder it. I just clip, 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 clip. I don't even edit it and I'm done. But this one needed a little more editing. Okay, I'm just going to dry this and be ready for decoupage. We're going to be using DIY's liquid patina as always. It is the secret sauce, the Cadillac of decoupage mediums. Caitlin is just linked the milk paint color of the month, which is Tickled Pink. It's a really soft, pretty pink, perfect for February.
So if you don't know, the color of the month is like, what is it, 30 or 35?
35% off. It's the best deal you're ever going to get on milk paint. Tracy says, I missed the craft box, but love the paper subscription. What we are going to try to do is when we have leftover scraps and Zeb has time, he's going to cut them up and make them into things that if you want to buy, you can, and then you can use them with the craft supplies you already have. I
probably will be able to get to it next week as far as like what's left over from this stuff.
Yeah, we're going to
because we still have quite a few. We can probably make some of these up. I'm not going to glue them together, but I can probably cut them out and do something along those lines. But I'm also going camping with Redrick Friday. And so like on top of doing all the releases and the extra videos, I'm going camping and I'll be gone. So
which means if you see me Saturday night and I'm exhausted, it's because I don't sleep when I'm not with Zeb and he'll be gone Friday night. So I'll have Cody and Rex with me. Much to Zeb's chagrin, if he's not there here, which is not very often, Cody totally crawls in bed.
Don't let him sleep on my side and get his stinky little paws on my bed.
All right, let's see. Are we live? Yes, Becky, we are live.
Yeah, you caught us live.
Somebody else had a question. Jen says the pressure of using stuff you made in effort to film is real. I'm pretty good about forcing myself. If I go to the effort of filming, I use that footage. Kim says, I love cottage color, but when I paint on curved surfaces, it's hard to not get drip marks. So you just need to do thinner coats, Kim. Make sure your paint is stirred up really, really well. And then if you're getting drips, you just have too much paint on your brush. So you need to make sure it's even thinner. If you're used to the DIY paint, it's hard because DIY paint does not drip as much because it's thicker. But cottage color, because it's self-leveling, because it has a built-in sealer and it's thinner, it just will drip if it's too thick. So just less paint is the key, especially on a vertical or curved surface. And let it dry completely before you do that second coat and you'll get better coverage. We are making just like little nail hook, little coat hook, hat hook organizer things. We are possibly going to do some clips on the top of them in case people want to do like a photo frame with some hooks on the bottom. What we're really doing is we're using up scrap wood to make cute stuff to sell in our shop. If you guys watched last week's video, we made those single hooks and we made the wood look like chippy salvage. We have sold a couple, but we do have quite a few available. So if Caitlin, if you have a link, can you drop the link to the hooks that we made last week for Wish That Wednesday, just so people could see what we did last week?
I guess I can just use I was getting out another kind of paint. I'll just keep using White Swan on the back of these.
Have I thought about selling old IOD molds? Old IOD molds are like an old friend. You just don't get rid of those. Only if I have duplicates, but I don't think I really do. They last pretty much forever. I did lend my snowflake mold to your Aunt Jane. We need to make sure we get that one back.
You just circle back and be like, hey, Aunt Jane.
Like, you're real cute, but I'm going to need that back, Jane. I haven't had to use it yet, though. Thanks, Caitlin. So Caitlin just dropped the link on here for the project for last week. So if you didn't see the finished project or you wanted to buy 1 or 5, they're on there. Those turned out amazing. I actually showed them to Sasha from Sweet Pickens last Friday. She came because we're working on the new project for this Friday, and she came to the shop and she's like, oh, those are so cute. And she asked me about how I got the crackle, which if I actually brought it out because I thought I might do milk paint today, but I'm not. But this gloss, this Final Finishes gloss top coat, I love to put this over the cottage color. And then the trick to getting it to crackle with the milk paint is just before this is all the way dry, when it's still kind of tacky, then you brush the milk paint on and then heat gun it, and it will crackle pretty good on raw wood. I'm trying to order the deer paper. If you have a problem with finding it, let us know. Okay, let's see. The dryer they're using. Oh, yes. If you are using this dryer with milk paint, it can make your milk paint chip a lot. Yeah, the heat gun. Did you grab sandpaper?
I don't have sandpaper, but there's a couple of newer ones over in the drawer.
I feel like a walking infomercial today, but these are halfway
Well, Waste
used.
Not Wednesdays are hard as far as infomercial goes because we use a lot of different things, and a lot of people are like, hey, where can I get that? 9 times out of 10.
Are you needing to paint this the rest of the way?
No, I'm going to do a different color on that one.
Oh, okay.
9 times out of 10, if we're using it, unless it's like something like this actual heat gun, it's on our website.
Caitlin, yes. Could we get 2 new heat guns? I actually threw out the one from last week that was horrible. These are on rice paper. We sell 3 different kinds of decoupage paper. We have our A4 rice paper. Then we have our medium rice paper, which is also rice paper. It's a little thicker than this because it's bigger. So we like it to be a little more substantial. And then we sell our tissue paper, which is an 18-pound tissue paper. And it's less expensive, but not as thick of a medium. And because it's so thin, the images are much better, crisper, brighter, more vibrant on the rice paper. But again, it is still rice paper. So it's not as bright as like if you did it on cardstock.
Yeah.
But in order to decoupage, you need to have a paper that has some give to it. If it's too rigid, it's not going to decoupage well. So hopefully that works. Yes, if you're doing heat gun and cottage color, make sure you move it because it will bubble it. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly distress this and get back to that darker base coat. You could also wet distress it if you wanted to, which would, if you wet distress it, you for sure wouldn't get to the raw wood, but.
Well, we have more brushes out.
Maybe I will wet distress it. I'm a little nervous because I only put on 1 thin coat of that anvil. And so if I push too hard, I'm going to distress through it. So because I use the DIY paint over the top, it's water soluble, meaning it will come off with just water to distress it. You don't have to use sandpaper. But the anvil is not water soluble because it has a built-in sealer. So it's going to distress back to that base coat. So
well, and on raw wood, good luck.
Yeah, it's soaked in very well. So this is a great way to get a layered paint finish. Really simple. You use cottage color on the bottom and you use DIY or milk paint on the top because you can wet distress both of those. I will show this up close here in a second. If you didn't have cottage color and you just had DIY paint, then you would just need to seal it, let it dry, and then you could wet distress back.
So these had little holes in them, but I cut them down to fit all my boards together. And so I'll have to, once I get the decoupage paper on there, I'll have to do a different hole in the center. Don't let me forget to do that for hanging these.
It's also smoothed out the DIY paint. So you can see that that just kind of looks like old distressed kind of wood where the paint has worn off. And because this, I didn't really overly sand the wood, you're actually getting the wood grain. That's the texture of the wood grain coming through. So this is a fun little technique. If you haven't done layered paint finishes before, this is a really easy way to get it. Okay, which ones did you say you were going to use?
I got 2 right here, and then this one in about 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, will be ready to
I want to use
clamps
this paper
off.
and this paper.
Okay.
So you get these 2.
All right. You just have to probably cut the bottom off on that one, or use it however. Jamie cut this one.
Oh, did you already cut the bottom off of this one for me?
Yeah. So I don't even remember what we were doing. We used this on like a project. Was it just Tuesday? For channel membership?
I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I've done so many projects. I don't know.
We used one of the panels on this one. So these are actually great for like small planters or boxes or like a painted terracotta pot. You just need to seal over the top of it once you're all done. The higher the gloss, the more durable the finish will be. And we had them all cut in these strips, and we were using them. So that's why I had to print off another one, because we didn't have our sample paper in full to show you. Oh, this one has all 3. Okay, never mind. I don't know what we did, why we cut this.
So Zeb, we have a question. Do you usually have to seal galvanized tin before putting a transfer on? We never seal it.
No, I don't.
Just clean and go. It's usually a slick surface. So you just clean it, put the transfer on, which is, if you're new here, an Iron Orchid Designs transfer that we sell. It's like a very thin decor piece of vinyl that you can decorate with. And then once it's on, then I need those.
Hold on just a second.
Here.
I'm good. I just needed to pop that seal.
Once it's on, then you need to seal it. So we usually use a liquid sealer. Or if you're not worried, like if it's just for you, then I guess you don't really have to.
All right, so this is Pacific. It's like a really good navy. It's not like super dark or it's almost black. This is a really great blue. And I used Americana on that, but I wanted to mix this up a little bit and change the color. We're not quite into navy season, but it's going to make a really great pastel green blue mixing it with this Americana.
If I don't cut it perfectly, it's okay, because I'm going to just stress the edges.
Is it green blue or blue green?
Depends on what I would say. Whatever color you say first is the dominant color.
So this is a blue green.
I didn't think I had to, but it didn't stick, so I put liquid patina on it. Maybe I should have cleaned it first. Yeah, if it's not sticking, then there has to be something wrong with the surface. So I guess it doesn't always work. I just never had a problem with it.
So this, I basically made one of my favorite DIY colors. It's a little darker. I probably went 2 parts of the Pacific to 1 part of the Americana, but I basically have skeleton key here.
Question is, have you left me a clean brush for?
Nope, they are all dirty now.
I found one. I need to Zeb likes to mix the colors and use a bunch of different colors. I need to save a brush for me for decoupaging. Or we could just buy more brushes. What's the floral paper? So this paper is from the subscription kit, C1975. Cindy says you're a patient guy.
About what? Patient about some things. Don't make me late.
Unless he doesn't care where he's going. And
yeah,
if you've never seen somebody dawdle more than Zeb when he doesn't want to do something.
It's the rules.
Between the 2 of us, my personality on camera is the same on and off. Zeb definitely has his camera personality. Occasionally, if he's hungry on camera, he gets saucy. Oh, you're not nice, but sometimes you're overly nice on camera, and then in real life, we're all human, right? Okay.
We're hungry. I don't like being hungry, and I don't realize that I got hungry, and so things go south real quick.
That's why I don't travel without snacks. I have snacks in my purse. I have snacks in my glove box. Snacks in my church bag. I have snacks at the shop. Careful not to overwork this paper. It's pretty friendly, but you don't want to overwork it. If you're going to do it on something like beadboard, it is going to require a healthy dose. Because it is not flat. I'm going to put this one outside. It is 50 degrees.
I was out there in a t-shirt, then as the sun came out, I'm like, I might have to swap to some shorts.
It's it's not that warm.
When you're used to it being 20 outside, it feels amazing. It's a 30-degree shift. But it's going to be cold again, end of the week. Not super cold. Like it will be in the mid-30s, about 20 at night.
If you guys have a JRV retailer that you like, make sure that you are doing a good amount of harassment and ask them if they have ordered the new papers, because they are amazing. They came out super cute. Zeb always just does a really good job. So thank you, Miss Martin. She says our website is also beautiful. Caitlin spends a lot of time on the website. She does a lot with it to make sure it's always looking its best, which is a lot of work because we're always adding products and buying new things. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, this is just a damp cloth. I'm wet distressing to bring back that dark base layer of anvil. And then I'm going to decoupage. It was good to see you. Have fun at work, Sarah. Caitlin just dropped the link to the paper that I just used.
So all these papers today are from the subscription.
Yeah.
The ones that we're using.
Trying to keep it simple. So you can only sign up for these for another week. Now we may eventually release them in a public release, but for right now they're just subscription papers. And if you guys are channel members, Zeb has some great digital printables that are included with your channel membership that he posted in community, or if you have signed up on Facebook for the paid subscriber group, it's the same papers. Make sure you're going to your paid subscriber group to grab that link because they're so cute. We did our video, which video did we use the bunny in? Oh, we used it yesterday in the subscriber video, but then we listed it, and that bunny in the frame sold so quick. So if you guys are subscribers, but you're also resellers and you're in the paid group, make sure you guys are downloading those free printables because you can use them and put them in frames for your booths and stuff.
All right, the recipe for this, straight up Americana. This is how it comes when you order it. This is 2 parts Pacific and 1 part Americana to get this lighter shade of blue. It's a little darker than Skeleton Key and DIY. It dried darker. Oops, I forgot the top of this one.
Christina says, I've got to get one of those sweatshirts. I do wear this one a lot. It's like the only one I've had, so you can tell it's got paint on it. It's really comfy. I think I oversized in this one. I think this one is like a large, maybe even extra large. It's cozy. Right now, if you go to the JRV closet and you can see all the clothes, you will see I'm on a sweatshirt kick. There are a lot of sweatshirts. I was actually meaning to put on, we have these cute new overalls since it's a little warmer today. I was going to grab them, but I forgot to change out of my workout clothes. So
Jamie's pre-cutting hers. I'm just going to like sand mine with paper and cut them.
Well, that always is a little bit stressful for me. I did on the video you see tomorrow, I had to do some sanding with some edges on paper, but I like to get it just how I want it. Leslie says she adores her sweatshirt. Leslie, do you have one of these? Let's see if these are centered. I always struggle with, yeah, that looks right. Making sure these are perfectly centered. What did you guys do before the shop? So I have been doing J. Murray Vintage for about 13 years. Oh, sorry. Zeb has been working with me full-time for 10 years. Before that,
10 in April.
Yeah, 10 in April. Zeb worked as a manager at Discount Tire, and so he sold tires in the retail world for a big corporate company. And then that's pretty much all he did. There were a few other side jobs.
I did that for like 15 years.
That he did, but pretty much that was it. And then, and that's the job he had when we met, when we were 17 in high school. And then I did mortgages I've worked for Chase. I worked for a couple of brokers. I worked for Box Home Loans, which I think they have a different name here in Utah. Now I think
I saw someone wearing a Box Home Loan shirt the other day. I'm like, it hasn't been that for a minute.
Yeah, I think they changed the name, but
it's a smaller broker.
I ran an in-home daycare. That's pretty much it. And then, I mean, in my teenage years, I worked at restaurants. I worked at Arby's.
I worked at Arby's for like 3 months.
Yeah. Before you worked at Discount Tire.
Yep.
But I'm definitely glad I checked that.
Okay, so I can sand it or I'm going to wet cut it right now because it's wet. Just making sure I pull down. I probably will still sand it, but this will get rid of all the excess. And if I go set it out in the sun, if there's a breeze, it'll keep the wind from blowing the edges around.
If you go out there, would you check on mine?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you this so you can put that out there.
So you want to make sure that your paper is nice and wet with the liquid patina, because if you try to do this dry, it'll tear like the top of your design off. Oh, I lost a little corner there, but we're distressing anyway. It'll be all right.
Christy, in the sweatshirts that we do have some that come in 2XL, but we can only offer the size that the manufacturer makes. In the sweatshirts that we make, we go up to a 3XL, I believe. So the I Love Junk and the Junk and Air sweatshirts are January vintage. Like we have them manufactured here by a company in Lehigh, and those go up to a 3X. But some of them, like this sweatshirt, we don't manufacture. I just buy it wholesale, and it comes in the sizes we have listed. I always buy as wide of a range as the manufacturer carries.
Yours is looking good. It needs probably a couple more minutes, but it's nice and warm out there on the porch. That solar dryer is working really well.
All right, well, maybe I'll work on the solar dryer, the sun.
So this one here is probably dried enough. I glued this up if you're just joining us. All I did was Type Bond 2 wood glue is what we use. Type Bond 3 is great, but that's more of like a outdoor type glue, rated for the outside. And I feel like it dries faster than I like. Like if you need to move something in position, it's already starting to dry. So I use the Type Bond 2. All right, you can do that one if you need something to do for a minute.
Because I've worked my way through projects.
Yep.
The question is, what paper? Maybe I'll do a transfer on this one since we've used all
this. Is going to be the hard part here. Like, do I just use 2 bunnies? I think I'm going to.
I would just do 1 bunny centered.
Oh, you think so? Which?
Yeah. I guess if you do 1 bunny centered, then you can give me another bunny. I'll just do that.
Oh, I shouldn't have cut this. I think we have a paper in the drawer over there with 3 bunnies left on it.
Yep, we do. Oh yeah, if we are out of them, then I just need to reorder. If you click notify me when back in stock, then it will send you an email when it gets back in stock. It's good to know that I try to keep up on everything, but occasionally we do sell out of things. So I will try to reorder when we're no longer live. I actually used to have somebody who did the reordering for me. It was Ivy, and she left. But to be fair, she did so many things. We still ran out of sizes even when she was working for us. But I'm trying to stay on top of ordering. Caitlin does all the paint and products. You can tell she does a much better job than I do. We're never out of anything unless the manufacturer's out. And then I handle all the home decor that's wholesale and the clothing ordering, which really works because there's sometimes I'm tired of something and I don't want to order it anymore. And so I'm the one that needs to kind of be in charge of that. Whereas like the DIY products, we just carry everything and Caitlin keeps them well in stock. I was thinking about something the other day. Oh yeah, we need to look over our in-store stencils because Ivy used to do that. I think she just did a big reorder before she left. So probably good for a minute, but.
I didn't do a good enough job painting this. So I will likely have to paint down here some more.
It's 72 degrees in Key Largo.
Sounds amazing.
Sounds delightful. It's been in the 50s the last 3 days, but the wind kicks up in the afternoons and it is miserable with the wind. The wind to me unless you're outside working, sweating to death in the summer, the wind is always an annoyance to me. I don't do well with it. All right, so you don't have to heat gun. I'm just using anvil and heat gunning it because we're live and I want it to be dry.
I'm going to start putting some hooks on Jamie's that's almost dry.
What'd you say, sweetie?
I'm going to put some hooks on the one out here that's almost dry.
Because we can put the hooks on. Oh, on the white ones, though, I didn't seal the white paint, so we need to clear wax it before you put hooks on. Or just run some liquid patina over it. You could just run liquid patina over if you want to.
I didn't distress mine yet, so I didn't use DIY paint. I got.
Yeah, so just put sealer on it. I would just brush a coat of that on there. You don't really, unless you want to wax it. Because I'm probably going to put a little bit more sealer over the paper anyways. Because when you're doing beadboard, I feel like you need extra sealer.
Well, it's pretty raw, even though we put a coat of paint on there. It's still soaking everything up.
I also have been known to, once my liquid patina is all the way dry, I have been known to use the Sweet Pickins gloss over the top if you want a really glossy finish. I just don't like to decoupage with it because it's not thick enough, and I feel like the thicker liquid patina just works better to hold the thick paper down. My personal opinion. All right, do you want me to just do vintage linen on this?
Whatever you want.
All right, can you pass it to me again? Is it still a little... I don't know if we have enough.
You could use the bird. We have that left over from channel membership paper.
That's a little big for this little area.
Okay. Or we could just paint one and leave it with the beadboard. It doesn't have to be decoupage.
If you don't sign up for the subscription, but you still want a set of 4 bunnies, we do carry a 4 bunny paper from last Easter. If Caitlin has a chance, she can drop that link in there.
All Easter designs from last season are still available because they were so popular. We're not retiring anything.
We don't retire things that people like. Try to keep them open. Anything that's still selling, we're still keeping it. And we have a ton of A4 rice paper. So if you missed this subscription or you're watching this on the replay, don't get discouraged. We have lots of great options of decoupage paper on the website. There's never any shortage of paper at JRB. In fact, what I was realizing the other day, we haven't designed a dictionary page in a while because we've been so busy doing the subscription paper designs.
I've got a ton of pages already ripped out of a dictionary.
So we probably need to do that in the next week or 2.
Perfect. Those screws are going to work.
Big old splinter there.
All right, 7 1/4, so that's 3 1/8. No.
Jackie says she doesn't mind the
3
snow and cold at all. Jackie used to live in Utah. The only thing I can say about living somewhere where it does snow is I never realized how much I appreciated spring until I lived in Utah. We did have snow in Arizona where I lived, but it just wasn't quite the same amount. And it would usually melt by the afternoon. Yes, I love junk comes in a sweatshirt. Any t-shirt that I design is also going to come in a sweatshirt if it's me designing it because I love, how many sweatshirts do I have? What, like 50?
Ooh,
sweaters?
Hard to say, and you got rid of about that many last season.
So, I like to be warm. I'm wearing my black sheep of the family shirt underneath. And I was going to wear just that, but I was like, nope, I'm cold.
I think these hooks are going to make this. Right,
Thank you. Caitlin dropped the link for the 4 bunnies rice paper.
So we're just going to go in 1 1/4 off of each side, and that'll work. Actually, I think I want to pre-drill that just a touch. I don't want to split that wood.
My sister Renee says she wishes her almost 4 granddaughter would go potty in the toilet. Talk to mom about Aunt Lou. She made her sons wash this back when they had like cloth diapers. She got tired of her sons that were older and they were pooping their drawers still and wouldn't go on the toilet. And so she taught her boys how to swish their diapers. I mean, it only works with cloth diapers, but swish their diapers in the toilet. And my mom says that those twins, they potty trained real fast. And now they're, oh gosh, my cousins are in their 60s, I think, but I can't imagine. Having had kids, I can picture that scenario. All my kids potty trained differently. Harrington was 3, Odelia was 3.5, and I bribed her with Polly Pockets. Eliza potty trained herself, and anybody that knows Eliza is not surprised by this, at 2. And her and Charlotte, her cousin, she decided that Charlotte was cool. She peed on the toilet, and Eliza was potty trained in one day and never went back. Redrick was 3.5, and one day my subscription expired for my diapers that got delivered, and I forgot to order more, and I just looked at him and I said, "You're potty trained. I'm so done with this." And going from the verbiage of potty training to "you are potty trained," he was like, "Oh, I'm done," and he legit never had another accident. I was like, "Why didn't I tell you you were done sooner?" And then Jack was about 3, or was he? No, Jack was under 3. I don't know. I'm not like a super disciplined mom. So my kids, they potty train when they potty train. I've never been one of those moms with a super strict bedtime routine or anything like that. And the older I get as a mom, the less strict I am.
She struggles with the puppies too.
Yeah, it's true.
We were training Cody, and she lasted about 20 minutes, and she's like, "Get that baby out of there. He's crying. Get him out."
I have 2 teenagers right now that come home on the weekends by 11:30-ish. And my older kids, they didn't stay out till 11:30, so they were like 16. I hear about it all the time,
It's
too.
because they didn't go anywhere. They didn't do anything.
That is true. Redrick and
the current
Eliza
teenagers we have now are like out and about doing stuff.
Party animals. You can see that liquid patina sucked it down. I am going to distress it a little bit once I know it's for sure dry, and then I'll put one more coat of liquid patina on there. You never want to try to distress paper that's any kind of damp, because then it will just be bad.
It mushes it around instead of distressing or cutting it.
It's like trying to wipe your bum with paper that got rained on when you're camping. It just doesn't work.
Sound like you're speaking from experience.
So don't distress wet decoupage paper. Now we're talking about potty training. Jackie Byrne says, "I bribed my daughter with Pretty Pony." Robin says, "My oldest potty trained with Daddy's big long t-shirt on." And okay, I think we got everybody. We have pictures of washing the stinky out of her toilet crying. So apparently Jeannie also had a cloth diaper situation too.
My mom used cloth diapers.
Which is so strange because we were born the same time. My mom, when paper diapers came out, she had already had 3 girls. And well, your mom said your guys' skin was really sensitive.
I guess.
She also told me
I don't remember that.
She also told me when we got married that you were allergic to aloe, and you were indeed not. Because I only buy the aloe.
I grew out of a lot of things. All right, guys, look at how good this is.
But now cloth diapers are coming back. They're eco-friendly. They're kind of crunchy, you know, if you're like a hippie mama. They're very popular. I save the earth by buying vintage and repurposing junk that would go in the garbage, not with diapers. So I guess if that gets me on people's bad side, I guess that's where I am.
All right, we're getting a new center hole so this hangs good.
We do not have a brick stencil, Brendan. That would actually be smart. I am working on a stencil release, but it's not going to come out until like probably the end of March. I tried to force it, but I've got so much other design work I'm doing. It wasn't coming the way I wanted it to. And we have so many good stencils already that I was like, you know what? I can wait till March. So that's what I'm doing. We have over 200 stencils. We might even have over 300. I don't know. We have a lot.
Yeah, it's probably closer to 3.
If you like to stencil,
I like to stencil.
All right. I have wet distressed back to the black on this one as well. And I'm going to do the other bunny. Let's see, what bunny do I want to do? What time is it? 10:49. Were we going to do, do we have any molds already done that we could put like over the top of them?
You might have to check this drawer here.
I don't know. We thought about doing like little clips to put art, but these are all so pretty on top. I can't imagine doing that. Can you pass me those scissors, sweetie?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do on the side? Because here it's a Americana. Just going to distress that.
Yeah, it's all just going to get heavy distress and that'll go away. So this one's looking good. It's nice and dryish. It's got a couple cool spots, but
I love that one. Is it roses? What's on that one?
There are all kinds of different flowers.
We'll say they're not roses because
I don't think they're roses.
Leslie feels about roses the way I feel about grapes.
I mean, a couple of them might be roses. But
My mind can be changed. Maybe Leslie could come over to the rose side. I love roses because I named my daughter Odelia Rose. My mom is Darlene Rose. Now I got to figure out how to center this. It's always a struggle. Even though this isn't covering this whole thing, I'm going ahead and put Cody hair in that. I'm sealing it all anyways because the DIY paint doesn't have a built-in sealer. So take care of that all at once. And you should never be dipping directly into your liquid patina the way that I'm doing because you could get paint or stuff in it and then it's going to contaminate your whole thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Question is, where's center?
I'm putting these ones in a little closer because
does that look centered too?
They're smaller than those hooks. You need to go to your right like a hair.
I feel like it's centered, but it looks uncentered
because of the lines.
Okay, how about that? Ready?
Yep.
The trick when you're doing like beadboard is to make sure that you get the liquid patina underneath the edge of the paper. Also be careful smushing it down the way I am because it is wet.
Those screws are not going to be long enough. I got to go get a bigger drill bit to recess those down a little bit.
Now it looks like it's further to the right. You know, there's one way to find out.
Since the struts are heavy, it won't matter.
Okay, we have just over 1.5. Yeah, it is way further to the right. I must have had it correct in the beginning. And now I'm going to rip my paper. Very delicate. And save this. I don't recommend what I'm doing. Oh, I totally ripped the paper. All right, well, we're going to get a new bunny. It's okay, there's 4. Do much better if I don't have to center stuff. I should not have moved it. I was correct. When I actually measured it, it was like way off. It was the lines that's throwing us. So I'm going to.
Sorry, I led you astray.
You led me down the path that did not rock. It's okay. You're cute. quarter.
Oops, that one went too far in.
Perfect. Done. When in doubt, get your giant yardstick out. Don't ask me why we don't have regular size rulers. We just don't. We actually do, but I could never find them, so this is what I use.
But we should probably paint these knobs something fun.
What?
Maybe I'll go white with the knobs real quick. Because these ones are just raw wood.
Are you sure we didn't have any more of these cast iron ones?
I didn't see them up
They
there.
might have been the last. These were a while ago.
Yeah, they were in a 3-pack, so they were from the kit.
The paper is dry. Is that hole centered?
Yep.
So this is I didn't want to do that.
What?
I was going to put a hook on the back.
No, they're all getting holes. They had holes to start with.
But I didn't want to.
Well, it's done. Sorry.
It's going to have a big black screw there.
Yep. So is mine. They'll hang real easy that way.
Well, I guess my fairy one will have to have those so they all match. Are you going to send them with a screw?
No, it just takes a regular like drywall screw.
Oops. So I'm just kind of bringing out the beadboard in my distressing. I kind of got a little aggressive with this one here. It's all right. Just put it back down. There we go. Problem solved. And now that I've distressed it, I always like to come back anytime I distress and add more decoupage medium, especially around the edges, anywhere that it might have been compromised. And this one will be done. And apparently you just put a little screw in there.
Yep. Or a nail. Whatever you
Whatever
got.
makes you happy. It's actually pretty cute. It'll be okay on this one because these are cast iron. It'll definitely go with it. You could paint the head of the screw to match. That is true. But Zeb said he's not sending a screw, so I guess whoever gets it could do what they want.
Actually need to do. I thought I went too deep with that, and I need to go farther because
I'm going to put this outside to finish drying. Zeb,
yeah.
Did you mean to have a really messy line?
Where no, I already mentioned that. I got to repaint or distress that because I was going to decoupage the whole thing and then I didn't.
Oh, okay. Bring that in there for you. I wasn't listening clearly. We've had some communication errors. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I just kind of like to distress it into the beadboard because I think it's cute. Like I said, make sure your paper is all the way dry. Otherwise, you will be very sad. And I'm using 220. I don't like to use anything higher than that when I'm distressing paper. Just doesn't seem to be a good idea.
Got to do some distressing on that and seal those knobs, and that'll be done.
All right, this one's ready for knobs.
Okay.
Do you want to do painted knobs on here, like a different color?
So I have these ones that I was
Wooden
maybe
knobs
just
would be
going to
cute.
leave
Yeah,
wood,
that would be cute.
because these ones are actually stained and finished. Those were the raw, like leftover IOD ones from some project we had, but they don't carry the knobs anymore, so
you
we
really
don't.
have some raw edges here.
Yeah, I was always going to get cut with the sandpaper.
Yeah, they're like decoupage down there. I'm gonna peel them up. They're cute decor pieces. Thank you.
Hopefully it helps get you some ideas.
There are
on how
no
you can use the
special
paper.
deals happening just right now that you'll miss on later.
On what?
Now, if you're ever watching a Saturday live, you never want to wait because that stuff sells fast. But there's nothing, none of the items we're even working on are listed yet. I'll get them listed later. So you can go on after the video. Got a little paint where it shouldn't be on this too.
I'm just going to sand that with the orbital. You're working way too hard.
I got it.
All right.
Why are they called beadboard? Because they have a bead that goes down here, like that connects them. If there was traditional beadboard, it would be like a groove that connected it, and that's it. I don't know. Is that a wood bead? Is that what that is? I don't know because I didn't name it. I've never questioned it. Why do they call it beadboards? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe it helped the beads of rain run down it on the side of the house.
I'm sure Google has the answer. Usually Zeb knows the answers to everything.
It's not something I ever worried about.
I'm just really pushing it down in the beads of the wood. Oh, and then I need to seal these, right?
Yeah, they just need some decoupage over the top. Or some liquid patina. That's the word I'm looking for. So do you not want me to drill a hole in the top of this one?
They need to be consistent, because then somebody will be like, mine, this one had a hole and this one didn't. And
it just makes them really easy to hang.
No, it's true.
Anybody can do it. You don't have to.
You can hang it into a stud.
And with a hook, it's not going to be very strong to hold weight. Like if you put a hook in there and it has like something, it'll. You are correct. It does happen. All right. Do you want to grab? We have that bunny that you need to fix your little dirty little line on. Oh.
I'll go grab the other bunny. This one actually turned out really cute with the barn. Are we running out of knobs?
I have some metal ones, but I thought we might paint those.
I don't like those.
They're not rustic enough.
They're not.
I do have these two knobs here.
Sam is funny.
So there's that one.
Let's go see what I have in the. I feel like this bunny definitely needs some different kind of knobs on it. We could do wooden on that one. Let me go see what I have in my drawer. There's a bunch that I just need to take to the store and match up knobs for them.
Yeah, there was. I grabbed a lot of these knobs out of there. There's still a ton left.
Yeah. Here's some. There we go. These ones you can just put screws in. So some knobs, they have like the rivets inside of them and you have to use a specific kind of screw. And then these wood knobs, you can just use any screw and it'd be fine. So I'm thinking these, and these have a little bit of a sealer on them. I like these for this one.
Those ones? Okay.
I like the natural wood and they're a little bit shiny, but they're like light and not oaky yellow. Oaky. How are we going to fix that one? Are we just going to use a little brush, like a little artist brush?
That or...
I'll just grab a little turquoise iris artist brush.
Oops. I lost a little piece of the backer.
It's very satisfying once the liquid patina dries that it like sucks this rice paper down to the backer board. That one's all done. The other one's still drying. I have little bird knobs. Wish I could hand them through the screen.
That would be fun on here.
I wish maybe, I don't think I've seen any, but it would be so cute if Iron Orchid Designs came out with little like transfers, little TV transfers that you could put on wood knobs. They probably already
are you doing something to those?
No, but these ones need to go on.
Do you want me to do something with these or are these fine on this one?
Those are fine. I have this brush. I'm ready to fix your paint mistake.
Oh. Well, it was intentional and then the paper didn't work out how I wanted it to.
It's fine. That's the thing with paint mistakes. You can fix them. Oh, Leslie's like, what's the yellow one? It was just the back of the board. It's just the raw wood. So what we will do, because these are going to obviously hang up against the wall, I'm not painting the back of it, is we'll just run the sander over it just to smooth that out so it's not like messy.
And it's a little rough too.
Yeah, if I was doing it for my house, I would not care. Well, I sand all the edges on them. But for me, I wouldn't care. But for resale, I will make sure. This one is omega heavy, so you're going to want to make sure this one's on a stud. Cast iron, it ain't messing around there. This one just needs these knobs put on.
Okay.
It's good to go. The knob topper stamp, yes, but the problem is they don't make that one anymore. So I probably have it somewhere.
I think it's in that toolbox that's up
if
top.
I haven't given it away. So I'm just taking my little turquoise iris artist brush. And I'm just fixing this little line here, and then I will touch it up with liquid patina. If you knew you were going to two-tone it, you could also just paint this before you... Did you not want to distress this?
I was just going to do the edges.
Okay. I think we need to distress this blue because you got some bubbling in the cottage color, so it'll fix that.
Yeah, I heat gunned it. All right. I think I'm out of screws, though, for these. Hang on. We made a bunch. Oh, we're over time. That's all right. Look at that. It just raced right away.
I know. We're sitting here having fun. The only thing we got to do now is go shopping and buy some stuff for Friday's video. I'm just heat gunning this DIY paint so I could seal it up. Although now I have a little bit of now I got a little white on my blue. I'll just distress that off. People ask us a lot, why do you distress everything? I don't know, because it looks good. I don't know why you didn't distress this, because you painted it black. So you bothered to paint it black.
We'll just take the knobs off and distress it.
I know, we
got overzealous and just take the knobs off.
No.
It'll take 2 seconds. I was going and we got knobs.
It's okay. I will put another coat of liquid patina on here to seal this paint that I just did.
Oh, those are bigger. Those need a fatter screw. So I think I have some. They run out and look real fast. Did we do all of them? Is this the 5th one? Or is there one out there still?
There's one out there. Drying. It's the barn one. It's drying in the sun.